Quickly, before this video starts, please make sure if you're watching my channel, you are subscribed. Hit the subscribe and hit the bell. If you hit the bell, you'll know when the video goes live. If you subscribe, that helps the channel massively. I'm getting great views for the amount of subscribers. Please subscribe. Subscribe and hit the bell. Back to the video. So hello, welcome to another video. So today, what we're talking about is are deadlift dangerous? So there's a lot going around in the fitness community at the moment regarding deadlifts. Are they dangerous? Are they worth it? Should you do them? The reward to risk ratio. So we're gonna coffee. It's early. We're going to deep dive into this, give my opinion. So, I feel deadlifts are no more dangerous than any other compound lift, any other heavy weighted movement. If you pull deadlift with good form, you won't get injured. If you squat with good form, you won't get injured. If you dumbbell bench press with good form, you won't get injured. If you do any of those with bad form, then you're susceptible to injury. It's not necessarily the deadlift that's the issue. If you move something with bad form, bad posture, then you're in inherent risk of danger. Moving lightweight badly can injure you. If you don't squat with the bar properly, it can still hurt you. Still 20 kilos. If you squat correctly with 240 kilo on your back, you won't get injured. Now, I find a lot of people give deadlifts bad rep, and I find that the reason they give deadlifts bad rep is the first time deadlifting or the first few times deadlifting, and they've not really got very good form. I find the biggest issue with, say, a conventional deadlift, if you've got bad form, pull it all with your back, especially lower back. If you're pulling the deadlift like that, like pivoting as opposed to squatting the deadlift, it's all on your lower back. That's where people will feel it, and I find they'll start doing it and they'll start doing well because they're moving very lightweight. When they start to, I'm a big believer in get your form right first before the weight, and then the weight will come. If you get the weight first and the form's never there, it's just a recipe for disaster. So a lot of people that deadlift with shocking form, and they might not know this, but if they deadlift with shocking form, they're putting themselves at risk. They'll hurt the lower back, they'll pull the lower back, and then they'll go, never deadlifting again because it injures me. And they won't understand that it's actually the form that's the issue, not the deadlift. If you execute a deadlift perfectly, not only is it pleasing to watch, when you see someone that sets up properly and engages every part of what you need to engage to pull a deadlift, and then they execute the deadlift properly, it's amazing to watch. Deadlifts, I find, are one of the key, if not the key component to building a good back. They target the upper back, they target the lower back. And I find finding something to replicate that, although you can. Rowing machines don't hit like a deadlift does. you need to be deadlifting. And also, if you're a powerlifter, like I am, I don't know why I did that, that doesn't signify powerlifting, you moron. And you're wanting to compete, if you're wanting to compete, you have to deadlift. If you're wanting to get a total on the day, you have to deadlift. Now, you could say, well, I just won't deadlift up until the comp day. No, because if you're going to put the time and effort and money into competing, you want to get a good total. So you need to deadlift. And I've been victim to this. I have hurt my back. The worst injury I ever had deadlifting. I micro-teared my lower back, and it was awful. It was absolutely terrible. It's the worst pain from lifting I've ever felt. But I'll see if I can find the footage. I don't know where it is. I don't know what phone it was on. 250 kilo beltless triple. First two flew. Third one got out of position. As this is when I was pulling conventional, I got out of position, and as I got out of position, I tipped forward, and me doing that tip forward put all the weight on the lower back. And then if that's my back, that side of my lower back, I felt the tear, and instantly my whole back went garden. And then I was in dire straits for a few days. It was not nice. It was awful. I had managed to get a sports massage and sort it out, but I was sleeping on the floor for a week because the softness of the mattress just meant I managed to calm my back down, got back into bed. Click. So deadlifts, I've been damaged by them, but I've been damaged because of bad form. And I was juiced up on caffeine at that point. I was carved up to the hills. I'd had sugar and salt before. I was like proper in the zone. The music was hitting right, and I warmed up from nothing to 250 in about 12 minutes. And on the third rep, it just went. And you can see, if I can find the footage, I'll try and find the footage. I don't know where it is, but I'll try and find the footage. It's got to be on Google somewhere, my photos. And I pulled the deadlift, and you can see as I walk away, in the pit of your stomach, you know you've done something. So my argument for are deadlifts dangerous, risk to reward ratio, and I know a lot of people, a lot of good lifters have come out and said, I never deadlift, I don't deadlift, the risk to reward ratio doesn't deadlift, don't deadlift. But if you look at one of the strongest people out there, they will probably deadlift. I'm not naming names because I don't want to be called out on this, but if you deadlift, I find deadlifts have got a bad rap, and I find you can hurt yourself as much on squat with bad form as you can with the deadlift. At least with the deadlift, if you can't get it up, you can just drop the weight. If you're at the bottom of a squat and you're not got the strength, you're failing a squat scares me. So let me just check my points. So I did some Googling to ask this question. First one that came up are deadlifts worth the risk? Deadlift is great at building up back strength, upper and lower, which hopefully can reduce the risk of back injuries later in life. So that therefore asks the question, are deadlifts dangerous? Are they going to damage my back? And then on the flip side to that, they're probably going to strengthen your back, so you'll have a stronger back. People that don't deadlift will probably have a glass back. So, are deadlift dangerous? No, not if you train them properly. Deadlift is an excellent exercise when performed correctly that has the potential for numerous strength benefits. Deadlift is safe when performed well. That's my point on this. Deadlift is safe when performed well. If you're not performing it well, and it goes back to my main point, sort your form out before you sort your deadlift out, before you sort your squat out, before you put any excessive weight on that bar. Make sure that your form is right. Make sure your cues are do that. To the point of then when you go for an all out one rep or a weight you've never moved before, those checklists are already in place. You know when you go for that heavy weight, you know that your form is good. You know that you've got good form, you know that you've got the form nailed down. If you get the form nailed down, the weight can just increase. Deadlifts are safe when performed well, just like any other compound lift, any other heavy thing, any other thing in the gym that requires weight. Perform it well, you'll not get injured. It's a good point, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out old merchy boy. Check out my Patreon. Sign up to my Patreon. £2.50 a month, £1 a month. Support me to become a content creator. Check out my Instagram, check out my Facebook, check out my TikTok, check out my Twitter. Sign up to the newsletter on my website, because there's new merch will already be out at the day of filming this. It is 15th of Feb. You won't see that, but it's the 15th of Feb. What day is it?
It's Wednesday, the 15th of February 2023.
So this video will come out, not that anyone cares, but this video will come out around, well, you'll know because it's already up there, so I don't need to tell you. But when this comes out, there's a whole load of new merch on there and a load of new prices. So if you want to support me, that's a good way of doing it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Are deadlift dangerous? No, not if you perform them correctly. They are not. Just like any other thingy. But the benefits to performing a successful deadlift outweigh the negatives, in my point. Full body exercise when you're deadlifting. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.